Hello fellow internet dweller, Brickineer here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at set number 75051. This is the Star Wars Jedi Scout Fighter from the Yoda Chronicles TV show. It has 490 pieces, 4 minifigures, and came out in 2014. Back in 2014, it cost $60 US, which nowadays is $67. And if you want to get it today, you're going to be looking at around $75 used and around $100 sealed. Let's take a look at the features. So, this ship is not from the Star Wars movies or the Star Wars TV shows. It is from a Lego short TV show called the Yoda Chronicles. So it's not a very iconic ship. Not a lot of you probably have seen this unless you've seen the Yoda Chronicles, which is on Disney Plus, I believe. But yeah, so let's take a look at the ship. So first off, it's got these it's pretty interesting design. It's got these big wings here. And then it has the cockpit in the center. And the cockpit is able to come out like so. So let's take a look at it. It's a pretty neat little cockpit. You get 2 spots. One of them is facing back, so it can't really see anything except for what's above. And then you have the pilot seat here, which is where the person that's driving the ship would go. Nice little chair design here. And you get some control panels. No studs in here, it's just smooth tiles. So a minifigure will just slide in there. And there's the front of that. And to put it back on, there's some little like rail things there. So you just go like this and slide it back on. And then there's a little pin right there, the blue pin, and it just plugs in like that. Moving backwards a little bit, you do have a little spot here for the astromech droid that you get right here. He just can plop right there and control the ship, kind of like the other astromechs. And then you get a cannon in the back, and this cannon can rotate 360 degrees as well as move up and down. Not really down too much, but it can definitely move up. And that's sitting on top of a compartment here. Pretty nicely detailed. That can be moved up. And you get a little storage thing. So inside this little storage compartment, you're going to get a green and blue holocron. These are supposed to hold the information of the Jedi, and they must have some sort of importance to the show. Those can just slide on in there. And then you also get some storage for the Jedi's lightsabers, as well as some thermal detonators there. So that is pretty neat. And that just slides in nicely here. It does have a little handle, so you could have like a minifigure holding it or something. Minifigure pushing it, but it just slides in there and then it closes. You get some giant engines here, which look pretty cool. And then you also have these flaps. Now these flaps, I usually have them like this, but they're supposedly supposed to go like that. And kind of like an X-wing, but it's only really at the edge. So it kind of looks like that. So it's a pretty cool looking ship. For the wings, you get spring-loaded missiles. And if you don't know how these work, you just push down on them like so, and they're going to shoot out. And they're also pretty easy to reload. You just slide them in like so, and boom. You do get some little more exhaust things here for the engine. And then moving into the wings, get like the Republic something. It's not the Republic symbol, so I don't really know what this is supposed to be. I know it's on a lot of Republic ships, though, so it must be some sort of Republic insignia. Get some lasers here and here. These ones don't shoot. Only the top ones shoot. And that's really all for the features of the set. You get some stickered pieces, nice detailed wings. It's a nice bulky build. Using lots of large pieces, so you might see 490 pieces like, oh, that's not really that much, but it really is, especially since you have so many larger pieces. But there's not really much to this set other than missiles and guns. Like, there's no special features. Like, this is not a special feature. It's not a little compartment or anything. There's not really much to this set in terms of features. But now let's take a look at the minifigures. Our first minifigure here is Jack 14. And just a side note, all the minifigures in this set are exclusive to this set, which is pretty neat. But here's Jack 14. He is supposed to be a clone Jedi, I believe. That's like what the purpose of the show is, that they're making clone Jedis, and here, Jack 14, is one of those clone Jedis. Now, you do get a Stormtrooper helmet, but it doesn't look like a Stormtrooper, of course. It has a pretty neat design on there. Probably not as cool as a Stormtrooper, but it's getting there. And here's Jack 14. He has the standard clone face, but his eyes are blue, which is pretty cool. And then when you turn his head, you're going to get some lightning coming out of his eyes, which is also pretty darn cool. The rest of his torso is very similar to a clone, but not fully there. And you get a nice like little strap going around his torso, and his arm there is printed, which is pretty cool, with some lightning, and it's translucent light blue, which looks really cool. It's supposed to be like the force, electric force coming out of his arm. And then some simple leg printing there. So that is Jack 14. Up next, we have a really cool minifigure that is also exclusive to the set, and it is an Ithorian Jedi Master. Now, it doesn't really have a name on the box, but if you watch the show, his name's going to be Noga Ta, I believe. I just looked that up. I haven't seen the show. But this, I believe, is the first appearance of this headpiece of an Ithorian just in general, and it later was in the Mos Eisley Cantina set, the big $350 one. But there is the Ithorian Jedi Master. Really awesome headpiece, of course. The torso and legs are pretty simple. It's kind of like a brown robe with an orange kind of jacket that also continues into the head, which is pretty neat. Kind of like a hood for whatever this is supposed to be. The little hump on his neck. He's got a belt, and he's pretty decent figure. This minifigure is like $20, so the minifigures in the set are worth a lot. We then have an astromech droid, which does not have a name either. And he's dark blue, which looks pretty cool, with a silver top. So pretty similar details to like R2-D2, just different colors. There's the back of the head. Looks really detailed, lots of different things. I don't really know what those would be called, like ports or something to plug into stuff. A lot of like vents. So that is the astromech droid. And then finally we have RA7 here, which is a protocol droid. Just different head from C-3PO, of course. A lot of detail on there. He's going to be dark bluish gray. Got the wires, kind of like C-3PO. Got a bunch of like stains, it looks like. His head, it will be used in a lot of other protocol droids, like in the very recent TIE Fighter from 2021, has like a black version of this protocol droid. And yeah, so just a decent little addition to the set. Here is how I display this set. I built this minifigure stand that I've been using with a lot of my other Star Wars sets. And I put it in the middle of these two Republic vehicles because I like to separate my sets by like which faction they are a part of. So you could also have, if you're tight for space, maybe put all the figures inside the vehicle. It does stick out because it is a very long ship, so it might stick out of your shelf. So just make sure there's not too much in like a walking zone, because you might knock it off. But you could also turn it. Maybe that looks better looking at it from the side. And of course, you could also build a stand if you have extra pieces to hold up the set. I have a couple stands here for a couple of my ships. So maybe you build a stand, maybe you hang it. Because it's not a very tall set, it's just wide and long. So you could definitely fit some sets beneath it. Or if you have some other ships, maybe you want to fit them above it, maybe like hang it somehow. But that is how I would display the set. I do have the instruction manual with me. So there's a shot of the ship in space. Since it's from 2014, it's got the cool artwork there of Darth Vader. And normal instruction booklet. Let's take a look at the back here. After the part count, you're going to get a little advertisement here for the Yoda Chronicles and just like their website. I guess like you're supposed to vote on if you want to be dark side or light side or something like that. And then you have a list of a bunch of minifigures from the sets of this wave that this set came out in. So you have the Phantom, a Snowspeeder, the B-Wing, which I do have, so I'll review it eventually. Mos Eisley Cantina, the smaller one. The Ghost, the AT-AT. I'm not really sure what this one is. And then the MTT. Oh, it was a Star Destroyer. So there's the sets that came out alongside this set. Lego Club advertisement, and then you have a win with a robot. So that is the instruction manuals. I always like it when there isn't two or more instruction manuals. I always like when it's just like one big thick one. It's pretty satisfying. So now let's take a look at the box. Here is the box. And I guess with 2014, it was the introduction of the spring-loaded shooter. So there's a big advertisement for that. You can see there that all the minifigures from the set were new in 2014 and exclusive to this set. 75051, 490 pieces. You got a back shot of it landed, the different Jedi and the holocrons. So there's some like lightning going on with the holocron. You can open the back. But you can see there's not really too many features. Like if they're really showing off that like the doors could open, then there's not too much to this set. Not too many features. There's your minifigures there. Actual size of Jack 14. And yeah, so I mean a pretty standard box, nothing too special. In my opinion, I would say to not really get this set simply because it doesn't go with anything else necessarily. I mean, it would go with like your Republic Army, something like that. But because it's not iconic, it's not from any show, really the only draw for this set for some may be the minifigures. But now that the Ithorian is in the Mos Eisley Cantina, even he is not really worth getting this set for. And the Jack 14, if you don't know the Yoda Chronicles, then you probably don't care about him. And the droids, of course, don't really matter. So for $75, I mean, unless you're really trying to collect all the Star Wars sets or all the Republic sets or something like that, this set I would say save your money on and get something else. Like, it's not a bad set, it's just there's nothing really special about it. But that's my review. I am going to be selling this set. That's why I'm reviewing it right now. I'm selling it because I don't have space for it anymore. And I don't really care for it anymore. And I also even have an extra Ithorian head here that I got from a garage sale. So I don't need this set anymore. So I'm just going to sell it on like my neighborhood website or something. But yeah, that's my review of the set. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have seen a couple of my other videos, maybe consider subscribing. And have a good rest of your day. Peace out.